What if I told you that every fortune ever built begins with a single thought, not just any idea, a thought so fierce it refuses to die? Write this down. Wealth starts in the mind with one blazing conviction. Most people never become rich because they never learn to really think. They live on borrowed thoughts, other people's dreams that vanish at the first sign of struggle. But here's the truth. True wealth begins with clarity, with owning your own thought and refusing to let it go. Right now, imagine your deepest desire. Is it vague, wishy-washy? That's why millions never break through. They have weak thoughts and generic desires. But if you fix a burning desire, a definiteness of purpose, like Napoleon Hill taught, your mind stops wandering. You focus, you push, you move mountains. A confused mind never creates wealth. A decided mind becomes unstoppable. Yet clarity isn't enough. You need deep, unshakable faith. Most people lack it because their past failures echo in their mind. They're conditioned to doubt. So how do you build faith? Through repetition, daily affirmations, vivid visualization. You plant the seed of belief so deep, it becomes invisible fire inside you. That fire transforms thought into matter. You begin to see your goal, feel it like a heartbeat, and align every step with that vision. But even clarity plus faith stalls if you don't act. The lack of disciplined action kills dreams every single day. Why? People wait for motivation. That myth kills ambition. The solution? A crystal clear plan executed through daily ritual, a system, not mood. Remember, it's not luck, it's ritual, it's not talent, it's decision. When you pair purpose with disciplined action, you build a bridge from where you are to where you want to be. And then there's the fear of failure, fear of criticism. Most have it because of social programming, inherited doubts, limiting whispers. How do you overcome that? You mentally reprogram. You build emotional armor. You quiet that inner critic. A man who decides doesn't need anyone's permission. He moves forward anyway. That's the difference between dreamers and doers. You don't wait for approval. You take action no matter the noise. Let me show you an example that defines this mindset. Edwin C. Barnes didn't just want to work with Edison. He decided to become Edison's partner before he ever met him. He didn't say, "I'll try." He said, "I will." He lived his thought, carried that burning desire across states, faced adversity, and eventually earned his place. He fixed his thought, he acted, he became. That's clarity, faith, action, emotional toughness, living as cause, not effect. So here's the climax. You don't need 100 ideas, you only need one. One idea carrying faith, burning desire, and disciplined action. That's what builds empires. That one thought is enough until it becomes your identity. Today, choose your thought. Guard it, feed it, breathe it until it is part of your flesh. You are the source. You are the cause. Decide it now. Write your vision. Feed your soul with that conviction. Act like the man you're becoming, not like someone's shadow. You don't need permission. You need decision. Now go build that which is already yours by right. Success isn't luck. It's alignment. Today, breathe your desire. Charge your thought. Sacrifice complacency. Embrace the man you're destined to be. Decide. Act. Become. You see, most people will spend their entire lives chasing shiny distractions, bouncing from one half-baked idea to the next, hoping something finally sticks. But wealth isn't found in noise. It's found in depth, the kind of depth that comes from holding one thought so tight it fuses with your soul. The world will try to pull you away from it. Doubts will whisper. Life will test you. But if your thought is rooted in desire, faith, and relentless execution, no storm can rip it out. That thought becomes your compass, your code, your reason. Write this down. Your external world is just your internal world expressed in slow motion. You don't attract wealth, you align with it. And alignment begins when you stop thinking like the man you were and start thinking like the man you must become. Stop asking, "How do I get rich?" and start asking, "Who must I become to hold wealth with honor, strength, and conviction?" That question changes everything because money follows identity, and identity begins with thought. But let me warn you, holding one thought is war. Your old self will fight back. Your comfort will beg you to settle. People around you, friends, family, even strangers, will project their fears onto your dream. That's when you must become ruthless. Not cold, not cruel, but ruthlessly focused, like a lion on the hunt. You don't explain your vision, you become it. Every thought, every action, every breath becomes an offering to that single idea. And here's something no one tells you: desire is not enough. Even faith alone is not enough. You must combine them with organized planning. This is where most people fall. They dream big but act sloppy. They start with fire but burn out without a map. The rich, the self-made, the legends, they build blueprints. They don't wait for opportunity, they prepare for it. You must write the plan every day, break it down, tiny actions, daily rituals, review, adjust, repeat. You're not building a life, you're sculpting a legacy. Take Henry Ford. He wasn't the smartest man in the room, but he didn't need to be. He had one thought: make cars affordable for every American. He obsessed, focused, streamlined production. People laughed. Experts doubted him, but Ford didn't flinch. He knew the power of a focused thought backed by faith, system, and sweat. That's why his name is remembered, while the critics are forgotten. Let me be even clearer. Discipline is freedom. Most think discipline is a cage. It's the opposite. Without it, you're a slave to your mood, your circumstances, your fears. With it, you bend reality. You reclaim time. You control direction. The disciplined man is not rigid, he's rooted. While others drift in storms, he plants flag after flag on the path to his desire. That's power. But what about failure? What about rejection? Listen close. Failure is just feedback. It's not the enemy. It's the GPS recalibrating your route. The only people who don't fail are the ones too scared to try. And guess what? They fail anyway, in silence, in regret, in mediocrity. Real men embrace failure like a sparring partner. You get hit, you adjust, you come back stronger. You don't avoid rejection. You rewire your response to it. Think about Thomas Edison. Thousands of failed attempts to invent the light bulb. Thousands. Most would have quit at 10, 100, 1,000. But Edison held a thought that wouldn't die. I will light the world. And he did, because the man who refuses to quit cannot be stopped. The world eventually yields to the one who outlasts its resistance. And what about fear of judgment? That's the invisible leash holding millions back. But here's the raw truth. No one thinking bigger than you is laughing at you. Only the small mock the bold. Your dream will scare them because it reflects what they've abandoned in themselves. You don't need applause. You need conviction. When you operate from deep purpose, validation becomes irrelevant. You trade attention for impact. You stop performing and start creating. There comes a moment in every man's life where he must choose comfort or calling, ease or expansion, safety or significance. And that moment is not someday. It's not when you have more money, more clarity, more support. It's now, in this breath, in this decision, because every day you delay is a vote for the man you no longer want to be, and every action you take, no matter how small, is a brick laid in the foundation of the man you are becoming. So let me ask you again, what is the one thought you will carry like a flame through every storm? What idea will you fight for when motivation fades? What vision will you tattoo on your soul so deeply that even when the world forgets your name, your legacy will still speak? That's not poetry. That's power. That's what built every empire. Rockefeller didn't just want to make money. He wanted to bring order to chaos. Carnegie didn't just want steel. He wanted to reshape the world. These weren't random ideas. These were obsessions forged in the fire of purpose. And you, yes, you, have that same potential. Not because of luck, not because of circumstances, but because you are human. And humans are the only species that can imagine a future and bend reality to match it. Your thoughts are divine technology, but only if you wield them with precision. Only if you stop renting them from the world and start crafting them with intention. Because the man who can hold one thought, one burning, unwavering, identity-altering thought, is more dangerous than 1,000 with scattered dreams. So if you're waiting for permission, this is it. If you're waiting for a sign, this is it. If you've been drifting, doubting, shrinking, this is your line in the sand. Decide who you are. Choose your thought. And feed it like it's your lifeline, because it is. And once you choose, Protect it, speak it, walk it, write it. Build rituals around it. Make your life a reflection of it, because every action you take from now on will either reinforce your future or repeat your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not your fears. You are not what they told you you were. You are what you decide to become moment by moment. And that decision lives in your thought, one thought, held fiercely, backed by faith, fueled by action, forged by discipline, protected from fear. That's the formula. Not a secret, not a hack, a decision. So here's the final challenge. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now, what is the one idea you will carry with you for the next 10 years? What is the one thought you will refuse to let die? What is the vision so powerful, so raw, that it makes comfort feel like a betrayal? Write it, declare it, own it, let it guide every choice, every sacrifice, every move, because you don't need more information. You need more intention. You were never meant to play small. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to build, lead, expand, create. The thought you choose today is the blueprint of the world you will live in tomorrow. Choose power. Choose clarity. Choose the man you're becoming, and never look back. And when you build it, when your thought becomes reality, when the vision in your mind carves itself into the world, don't stop, because real greatness doesn't end with success. It begins there. The true builders, the ones who rise and stay risen, understand that wealth is a responsibility. It's not about stacking money. It's about stacking meaning, influence, alignment. A man's life is measured not by what he takes, but by what he creates and what he leaves behind. So once you rise, you pass it on. You become the model, the standard, the living proof that greatness isn't mythical. It's mechanical. You show your brothers, your sons, your tribe. This is how it's done. Not by shortcuts, not by hype, but by mastering the inner game so completely that the outer world has no choice but to follow. That's how legacies are born. That's how cycles are broken. That's how generations shift. Because here's the deeper truth most never face. Someone in your bloodline has to go first. Someone has to break the chain of scarcity, fear, mediocrity. Someone has to choose wealth, power, discipline, not just for themselves, but for everyone who comes after. Why not you? Why not now? You've been chosen by challenge, by vision, by fire. The fact that this message reached you is not coincidence. It's a mirror. It's a test. It's your future self knocking and asking, will you step up? And once you step up, you never step down. You move different. Think different, breathe different. You're not playing for likes. You're building for legacy. You're not addicted to distraction. You're married to purpose. You don't chase dopamine. You chase dominion. Dominion over self, over thought, over destiny. The man who conquers his mind, conquers his world. And you, my brother, were built for this. So let your thought grow bigger than your fears. Let your rituals grow stronger than your excuses. Let your identity grow louder than the voices of doubt. And when you rise, because you will rise, do it with humility, but never with apology. You didn't get lucky. You got aligned. You didn't stumble into success. You became success. You didn't wait for miracles. You built them. You are the miracle, the thought that refused to die, the decision that bent reality, the storm that forged the standard. And from this moment on, you will walk different. Not because you're better than others, but because you remembered what most forgot, that everything starts with a single burning thought. And that thought is now you. Now go. Light the fire. Hold the line. Walk like the man who knows where he's going. Because you do. And when they ask how you did it, don't explain. Just smile and keep building.